Hi Aries, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your September 2021 love reading. Thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the bridge and the gap spread. And the way it works is a look at the past energies, present energies, and future energies between you and your main love interest. And when we get to roll those, we actually pull some oracle cards for some additional insight. That's where bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, and on the right side we have the Tarot of Sexual Magic. Also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left is the energy and the cards on the right is the other person's. If you feel like it's the other way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we get started. Past energy on your side, we have the Two of Staves, which is Aries energy, Two of Coins, Capricorn energy, and Two of Arrows, Libra energy. So definitely pretty funny to see all twos in the past, but the way that I'm seeing this primarily could have just been saying you had a desire for a fresh start, right? The wands representing that passion. The pentacles wanted to take that action, but if we think about in traditional tarot, it looks like a guy trying to juggle two pentacles. Here we see within those two pentacles, there's the one red heart, and then the other one appears to be a bit grayed out, which to me gives me that icy type vibe. Well, it won't focus for some reason, but yeah, that gives me like that hot and cold type energy. And then with the Two of Swords, or Two of Arrows as it's called in this deck, I feel like that's building yourself up, right? Getting close to actually taking the action, but then saying, you know what, let me sleep on it. Let me think about it one more day or something like that. So I feel like this is definitely a bit of a stagnant energy where you just go back and forth in your mind, where one day you're ready to take the action, but then the next you're ready, you're like, let me sleep on it. Let me make a decision a little bit. And with the artwork there, it could just be saying that you might be getting signs and synchronicities around which action to take within the connection to, but for whatever reason you might not have been trusting that. Alright, past energy on their side, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So this is actually the court card for Capricorn. And if we look at the artwork there, it always stands out to me. We see the snowy background. We see she's staring in the mirror. She's not even paying attention to that guy there. It also makes me think of that term, kiss their feet. So it could just be one of those things where you might have perceived them as pretty high maintenance, right? You might have felt like they wanted you to grovel to get attention from them. And obviously that might have been where the turnoff might have came in your part, or at least the hesitancy, right? Where, okay, on the one hand you had the attraction, but you're like, all right, do I really want to deal with this person? I will say, with Capricorn energy, that can be a first impression that they might give off. They might seem a little bit cold at first, but they can warm up once you get to know them. So for someone where if this isn't someone you knew too well, that might have just been a first impression that they might have given off. But yeah, for others, you might have actually put in effort with this person and realized, okay, this person just doesn't seem to budge, and you might have been considering possibly leaving the connection altogether. All right. Present energy on your side, we have the 10 of Arrows. So to me, this definitely represents that indecision that we saw in the past coming to an end. And I do have to say, for some of you, this might even point to that second full moon we're going to have in Aquarius that's actually going to lead to the insight that you need as far as which action to take next regarding the connection. Now, what always stands out to me here is the way we see the 9 arrows together, which makes me think of that 9 of Swords energy, which represents a lot of anxiety, and then this one arrow pointed toward the card on their side. So to me, that represents that Ace of Arrows type energy. So for a lot of you, I feel like this is saying you're actually going to come out of the indecision and actually try to communicate with this person. Especially since this is Gemini energy too, which for you guys is your third house of communication. But yeah, given those lightning bolts we see there, I feel like this might come through as a sudden realization on your part. All right, present energy on their side, we have the Ace of Chalices, 9 of Pentacles, Virgo energy, and 6 of Swords, Aquarius energy. So it's interesting because on the surface it looks like there is that interest there, right? Where they have the interest toward you in a passionate romantic sense, but then with the 9 of Pentacles, especially with the artwork here, where it looks like he's cutting a strand of her hair. So 9 of Pentacles usually represents that single independent energy to me. But with him cutting the strand of the hair, that makes me think of someone who wants, they want to keep a part of you, but they don't necessarily want to commit either. And then with that 6 of Swords right underneath that, especially given that for you guys, Aquarius energy is your 11th house, these three cards together really give me that impression that they're like looking for more of a friends with benefits type thing at this time. Yeah, that's really what I'm picking up on there primarily. So we'll see if that changes. But future position on your side, we have the Two of Cups. So this is actually Cancer energy. And if we look in the background here, I always point out with this deck in particular how the artwork is very unique as far as the Two of Cups goes. Because there's lightning in the background. Definitely looks like there's storming going on, right? One of the cups is knocked over. That's a pretty big contrast to the usual bright, sunny energy we tend to see with the Two of Cups. So to me, this can represent that after some difficulty, obviously, I mean, you have all four twos in the deck in the spread, which is pretty unique given that it's just a three-card spread on your side. But to see all of those twos and then this Two of Cups in the future position, to me, it says that you guys will get things off the ground. And especially with it being the Two of Cups too, I think it's just a realization on your part that, okay, you know, we'll just take it as it goes, right? We're not going to project out into the future or anything. The connection seems to be genuine, right? So let's just see where it goes. A bit of an exploratory type energy. But yeah, looks like I said, it looks like it wasn't easy to get to that Two of Cups phase, but it looks like you guys will be getting there in the future. All right, and future energy on their side. We have the Three of Wands, which is Aries energy, and the Eight of Pentacles, Virgo energy. So interesting to see the Aries energy here, but if we think about this in traditional tarot, it usually represents that energy of waiting for your ships to come in. So again, not really an energy of them taking action. And it stands out to me that at least in the Northern Hemisphere, we'll be entering fall, and then we see definitely looks like a fall type background in the environment. So this could be pointing to the Aries full moon that we have coming up during the Libra season. And with that Eight of Pentacles there, it kind of stands out to me. There's some similarity between her expression and the one that we see in the Queen of Pentacles. If we look at them, right, where she's kind of just staring off in the distance a bit, he's extending the rose to her. So it's like they are in the same space. But yeah, I feel like as far as gives me that same energy where I don't necessarily see that this would be something where this person wants to look at this as a serious long-term commitment, but there can definitely be more of a casual connection between the two of you. Given what's going on in the background, I don't know, with the fall and all that, you know, maybe they want you to bring them a pumpkin spice latte. I don't know. But this person definitely seems to have some unique energy going for them. Let's just say it that way. Bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Eight of Staves. So this actually represents Sagittarius energy, definitely a lot of movement, a lot of communication. Some of this could be taking place through social media too, given that we see the birds there. So that makes me think of more of like a, you know, social media or possibly even just texting type of communication. But that's what I'm seeing on your side. And then bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Hanged Man. So this is Pisces energy. So yeah, again, just seems like someone who's not really about taking the action. They definitely might want you to do most of the heavy lifting, given what we see in the Queen of Pentacles energy in the past, and then that Eight of Pentacles in the future. So that could just be the energy there, and it can be a Pisces you're dealing with, but I don't necessarily feel like it's pointing to that. Just more that this person doesn't necessarily seem to be the type to make moves. Now, interestingly enough, beneath that, we do see the Knave of Chalices, and usually this is someone who's struggling to communicate their feelings. We see the crumpled up balls of paper there, one in his hand. He's trying to write a letter, but it looks like he's getting pretty frustrated. So for somebody, that can be what it is too, or maybe they just struggle a bit with actually communicating their feelings. But yeah, I don't know. It looks like, regardless of the reasoning, this person seems like they would definitely take things pretty slow, or possibly you're just looking for something casual, nothing more. All right, so we'll see what the Oracle cards add to the mix. First, we'll see if we get anything from the Aqua Moonlight deck here. And I did pre-shuffle this deck, so what we're looking for is just some jumpers. I'll be looking for unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. And if we shuffle for a while without anything coming up, I'll just move on to the next Oracle deck, but occasionally we get extra messages here. So we'll see if we get any. All right, this one, two don't want to go back in, and then we'll see what we get on their side. All right, and there's one on their side. So let's see, we got on your side first. All right, we have gentle. It says, I'm staying away from you because the last thing I want to do is to hurt you. Interesting message there. Now, this is probably going to be for a small percentage of you, but seeing this message along with what we see in the past position there, for some of you, you might have actually done something to cause an issue in the connection in the past. And maybe for some of you, this is actually representing you wanting to come back in to possibly make an apology. And then in that case, I could see why they might come off with that cold standoffish energy. So yeah, like I said, I didn't necessarily pick up on that vibe too heavily in the main spread, but seeing this card in the mix, that can be what's going on for some of you. That might have been what led to the energies we're seeing in the past. So hopefully that resonates with some of you. And then we have mistake. It says, I made the wrong turn, and honestly, the grass wasn't greener over there. All right. So yeah, to be fair, again, both of these oracle cards seem to point to possibly why they're in that cold, standoffish energy is because you guys might have actually done something in the past that caused an issue within the connection, possibly a break within the connection altogether. And this could represent you guys actually wanting to come back in to rectify that. So, like I said, I didn't really pick up on that energy as I was going through the main spread, so that might not be the case for all of you, but for some of you, at least that could add a little bit more of a layer to where these energies were coming from in the past. So, might not be the case for all, but definitely for some. All right, and on their side, we have fear. It says, I want this so badly, but I'm afraid of getting hurt, so I self sabotage. All right, interesting energy there too. Now I could see how that could fit into the case for some of them too, where I was mentioning how, that might have just been the first impression that they gave you, that they were very, cold and standoffish. And not all the time, but sometimes when people are that way, it's because they have been hurt in the past, so they're just very guarded. So interesting cards coming up there, but hopefully those resonate with you guys. And then lastly, we'll pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. And I pre-shuffled this deck as well, but here we're just looking for one card with general advice, and we'll wrap up. All right, and two. Don't want to go back in the deck, so we'll see if we get those. All right. So we have building blocks, and we have TikTok. So, all right. So we'll start with building blocks, then we'll do TikTok. Interesting too, because building blocks gives me that Capricorn Saturn type energy to it, and we do see the Capricorn energy in their past, and also in yours really with the Two of Pentacles. But we'll see what it says. Okay, it says strong foundations, a beautiful work in progress. The Oracle's message: you have everything you need to cultivate an extraordinary life. This is a time when your focus needs to be on the foundations you build upon. Your work, your relationships, and your very being are underwritten by your values, ethics, morals, and core beliefs. Are they still true for you? Will they stand the test of time and serve as the solid grounding upon which you construct your life? Now you are making changes that will affect everything in a positive way. Your destiny is truly a remarkable and beautiful design. So interesting message there, and what stood out to me when I was reading that was where it mentioned your work, your relationships, because this is the Aries energy. Then we saw the Capricorn energy, which could represent your social status and career. Then we saw the Libra energy, which could represent your relationships. So you just might be feeling a bit of that push-pull dynamic right now, but hopefully that resonated. The relationship message says, when you see this card, know that you are attracting new relationships into your life and solidifying the ones you already have by building them on the foundations of honesty, humility, clear communication, and a genuine desire to know one another. You are moving toward laying the groundwork for a relationship with a firm footing that will ensure it can withstand any storm. Long-standing relationships are also repaired and strengthened. You and the other person are stronger, wiser, and more powerful together than apart. So pretty positive message there too, and that makes me think of that Two of Cups energy that we mentioned in the future, where it looks like it was definitely a bit of a bumpy ride to get there, but it definitely looks like forward positive progress. All right, and then with TikTok, we'll see what we got with that. Okay, it says timelessness, divine timing, immeasurable time. The Oracle's message. When humans created time, everything changed and contracted. People have come to look at life in a linear way, imagining that the past is behind them and the future ahead of them. But what if that isn't true at all? What if everything, creativity, beauty, chaos, and order, were happening now in a glorious timelessness? You have all the time in the world to co-create the life you desire, so release your agenda. Let go of your need to shape each moment to your expectations, knowing that what is yours will never be withheld from you. Miracles are here right now and always show up when you need them, right on time. So definitely a pretty positive message there, and it could have just been as simple as that. Maybe the timing wasn't right between the two of you in the past. The relationship message says love, the fulfillment of desire, and even the body's reproductive cycles have their own timetable. Some things are preordained and cannot be coerced. Everything has its season, its divine and appropriate timing, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. Remember that you always have enough time for love, to find it, to nurture it, to give and receive it. Its clock is eternal and ticks according to the beating of your heart in perfect rhythm. Isn't that wonderful to know? Love is always right on time. So, pretty positive message there as well. Like I said, it looks like there can be some improvement for some of you. I'm feeling maybe it'd be around the time of that Aries full moon. It might be sooner than that for some of you. But hopefully that resonated. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.